Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honourable members, I rise today with a heavy heart to provide this House with an update on the wildfire that has devastated the community of Fort McMurray. To all the residents of Fort McMurray, I want to say clearly that all Albertans are behind you. I believe all Canadians are behind you, and certainly this government is behind you. As a colleague and a fellow Albertan, I think I can speak for all of us in this House when I say that our thoughts and hearts are with the member for Fort McMurray Wood Buffalo and, of course, the Leader of Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition, the member for Fort McMurray Conklin. As someone who unfortunately knows firsthand how hard and scary it is to leave behind your home and your community, my heart rests so deeply with all of those from Fort McMurray in these early days, but will continue to do so in the many days, weeks, months, and years to come. Please know that we continue to do absolutely everything we can to keep Albertans safe and to stop this fire. I want to thank the incredibly dedicated frontline emergency responders who are working under tremendously difficult circumstances to ensure everybody's safety and suppress the fire. I want to thank Albertans for the tremendous outpouring of support, including the continued donations to the Canadian Red Cross, the sharing of firefighting resources from across the province, and our industry partners who are both sharing firefighting resources but also providing places for many of the evacuees to stay. With that said, I will now provide an update on the current status of the situation in Fort McMurray. Our focus at this time remains centred on ensuring the safety of people, that the residents of Fort McMurray have safely evacuated the area and are able to find secure lodging with friends or family at one of the reception centres or in the home of one of the many individual Albertans who have opened their doors at this time of crisis. Also, we are focused on ensuring the safety of the first responders who have made that choice and commitment to stay there and to deal with the difficulty that they are enduring. All of the urban Fort McMurray area continues to be under a mandatory evacuation. Upwards of 80,000 people are affected. Reception centres have been set up at Noralta Lodge, Anzac Recreation Centre, Lac La Biche, Fort Mackay, and Northlands Recreation Centre. As I rise in this House, thousands of evacuees are heading to Edmonton, where we are working with partners to establish reception centres in the city. I implore all Albertans who are displaced by the fire to register with evacuation centres so local authorities can ensure that everyone is accounted for and safe. Evacuees can call 1-888-350-6070 to register. I am tremendously thankful that there have been no casualties and only a few minor injuries reported so far. Mr. Speaker, emergencies of this magnitude require coordination between many levels of government and community partnerships. The response has been what we expect from Albertans, wholehearted and strong. But we are still in the throes of an intense crisis, and our fire crews are working around the clock to reduce the threat of fire to people, homes, and infrastructure. The fire conditions today, unfortunately, remain extremely challenging. Our government is working closely with the regional municipality of Wood Buffalo to ensure the evacuation of homes and neighbourhoods is orderly and safe. The fire is actively burning in residential areas in Fort McMurray with significant structural loss. At this time, we estimate that around 1,600 homes have been lost. I know that the Leader of the Opposition is one of those affected, and my thoughts are with him and his family as they are with every person who has been evacuated. This afternoon, responders are facing extreme fire conditions and rapidly changing fire behaviour. As devastating as this fire has been already, we must prepare ourselves for more bad news in the hours and days ahead. This fire is unrelenting, and firefighters are facing extreme fire conditions and rapidly changing fire behaviour this afternoon. The fire situation remains dynamic, and current temperatures and wind present extreme conditions. Since the fire began, every single resource that needed to be at this fire has been there and will continue to be there. With 88 firefighters from regions around the province joining the fight overnight, there are now approximately 250 firefighters currently battling this fire. We also have 12 pieces of heavy equipment and 12 helicopters engaging in suppression efforts at the Fort McMurray fire. There are currently 2 air tanker groups and 9 air tankers in the air, although this number changes hourly as our firefighters adjust to conditions. We are currently utilizing as many aircraft as is logistically possible and safe to fight this fire. Cross-government efforts are being closely coordinated out of the Alberta Emergency Management Agency Provincial Operations Centre, and ministries are supporting emergency response efforts and addressing the needs of evacuated residents in a number of ways. Alberta Agriculture and Forestry is supporting ongoing fire suppression efforts. Alberta Environment and Parks is providing support to evacuees that have gone to provincial campgrounds, and they are waiving the fees for them. Alberta Health and Alberta Health Services are providing medical support to evacuees who are presenting to reception centres. All patients at the Northern Lights Regional Health Centre were safely evacuated and are being transferred to appropriate health care facilities. All evacuated acute care patients and continuing care clients will be flown to health care facilities in the Edmonton zone, where they will receive the care that they need. Alberta Human Services, Emergency Social Services are coordinating support to respond to the needs of evacuees and are resourcing the staff for reception centres. Alberta Transportation is monitoring road and visibility conditions and supporting traffic management where required. Mr. Speaker, our government has also called in the support of our federal government through the Department of National Defence, and they stand at the ready to offer any logistical support we need. They have already dispatched helicopters to provide logistical support in the region. As well, multiple communities across northern and central Alberta are dispatching structural firefighting equipment and assets to the region, including, I'm proud to say, a sprinkler trailer from Slave Lake. Industry partners have offered the use of work camps to house evacuees, and Fort McMurray First Nation, Gregoire First Nation and Fort Mackay First Nation have all opened their doors to evacuees. I'm also pleased to confirm that our government has already approved emergency funding of $2 million to the Red Cross to provide direct support to the evacuees. It is very important that evacuees sign into a reception centre or call the Red Cross to register. Doing so will greatly assist our ongoing efforts to account for evacuees and helps ensure we are able to provide proper support for evacuees going forward. Albertans want to help. That is our nature. And we're encouraging anyone who wants to donate to the evacuation and relief efforts to please contact the Red Cross. Please know that without doubt, this government is fully committed to supporting the people and community of Fort McMurray now and in the months and years to come, to respond to this threat today and in the days to come, and assist you to recover once it is safe again to return home. As someone who has been through this, I want the people of Fort McMurray to know that I will be there with you. Albertans will be there with you, and we will all pull together in this time of need. All Albertans are behind you now when you are displaced from your homes. All Albertans will be there to help you rebuild. And as Albertans, we will come together and see your recovery through. Mr. Speaker, Albertans can be assured that we are all working together, and we will do what it takes today, tomorrow, and in the weeks to come to rebuild and to persevere. That is the Alberta way.